This is Talk of the Town, a weekly program featuring community events happening in and around Northeast Michigan, with your host, Nancy Smitham. And get the latest news from Alpena Community College with Dr. Olin Joyton. And now, today's Talk of the Town.
Good morning and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Nancy Smitham. My first two guests today are both from Child and Family Services. I have Kelsey Kanowski and Felony Keller Summers. Hi and welcome.
Hi, thank you.
I'm so excited to have you here, Felony, because I know that November is National Adoption Month.
Yes.
And you folks are all about adoption, and there's some wonderful stories and some wonderful things happening out there in the adoption world.
Absolutely. This year, in November, the month of November is National Adoption Month. And so the month of November is used to bring awareness to and bring adoptions to the forefront. We want to bring awareness that children are waiting to find their forever homes. So we hope that this year will be bigger and better than the last.
Okay, and I know you have a special event planned.
Yes, we do. This year on Tuesday, November 25th, Alpena will be celebrating National Adoption Day. So within that, Alpena will be finalizing approximately 4 to 5 adoptions of children. And then following the finalization hearings, the court, DHS, and then our agency, Child and Family Services, we are facilitating a community event. There will be food, refreshments, heavy hors d'oeuvres. We're going to be having a couple speakers that will be there. There's going to be activities for children, informational booths. So the public is more than welcome to come. We want to invite anybody and everybody. If you want to learn about adoptions, please feel free to come. There's going to be enormous amounts of people that have education that are going to be able to provide you with that information. If you want to become a foster parent or adoptive parent or just any other way that you feel like you might want to be involved, we can give you some options at that event as well.
Okay. Kelsey, your turn.
Well, the only thing I wanted to add to that was just there are some few statistics that could be helpful in learning about adoption and foster care and what you can do. There are typically 4,000 kids in the state of Michigan who are in foster care, and about 3,000 of those kids are waiting to be, are legally free to be adopted, and only 300 of those kids are unidentified with families.
Wow.
So, and the past year in 2013, we had 230 adoptions done in the state of Michigan. And then back in 2009, there was the highest amount, which was about 500.
Oh, wow.
So each year we're kind of decreasing, and we really just want to bring more awareness to what you can do as a foster family and possibly adopt. So,
and I think education is the whole thing too, Felony. As we were talking before we started taping about some of the wonderful, beautiful children that are out there waiting for their forever home. And, you know, I think there's misnomers out there. I think people think, oh, well, these are all kids that are troubled kids or have this. And, you know, none of that is true.
Mm-hmm. Yep, some of these children that are waiting, they just don't have any fit and willing relative that is able to step up to the plate and adopt. They might not be able to financially. They might have families of their own. So if there's no family that's willing to step up, we really depend on, you know, great people that just love children, that want to give back, and that want to give a child their forever home and really be a part of their lives.
And, you know, a lot of people out there maybe are empty nesters, you know, maybe widows, widowers, and they're thinking, you know, my life is just kind of empty and I really wish I had something to fill it up. You know, what a great way to become a foster parent.
Mm-hmm.
When I see these beautiful children going through our office in strollers or walking or running, when we hear a baby, everybody runs to see the baby, and I think, oh, you're missing out. These are such wonderful, wonderful children that just are waiting for someone to take them in and love them and care for them.
Absolutely.
And, you know, one thing about Child and Family Services is Kelsey, is that you don't just, a foster parent, you don't just say, oh, here's a child, you know, good luck. You have a lot that goes with that.
We offer services, you know, within our agency, and then we also make options and opportunities for around the community. You know, we propose different services that DHS provides and that we can provide, and we don't just leave them hanging in their own home without any kind of resources available.
So you make sure that they have all the training and all the background checks and all those wonderful things. So.
Yep, and staff really tries to offer their support, and some staff give out their personal cell phone numbers. It's like, if you run into issues, give me a call. We're always here for support. They can always call us, and even after an adoption's final, they can always give us a call, and we can always add, be a part of their support system.
And foster parenting can be on a temporary basis. It can be more long-term. How does that all work?
Absolutely. Foster care is usually at a temporary basis, but sometimes that does lead into the opportunity to adopt one of the children that have been in your home. Okay. If there's nobody identified for that child and they become eligible for adoption, then the foster parent is able to put their name in and say, yes, we want to take care of this child. And then they would continue the process of the adoption process with us.
Okay, and once again, going back to the education and training. So, you kind of match the kids up. We know what kind of home you have, the age of the children that you want. So as a foster parent, you have lots of options. Once you get your training and once you get all ready to go, you have staff working side by side with you to make sure your home is right, that you have the education and training and everything that you need to take care of this child.
Absolutely. There is a process. We have to do a lot of reports. There's a home study that's involved. We try to make that as painless and quick and easy as we possibly can. But it's really to gather information. We want to make sure that the child that they're looking at and the family that's looking is a good match for each other, because we want it to work. We don't want there to be a lot of bumps in the roads. So if you can make that match a good match in the very beginning, that can save a lot of time. And these kids then get super lucky and they get a forever home.
And there is a stipend that's foster parents get, but it's nothing. It's not something that, it's not a job. It's not something you can make money on. It's not something that, you plan on. It's just a stipend to help with food and clothing cost and incidental care of the children.
Mm-hmm, correct.
Okay, so now we got everybody all excited about adopting some of these beautiful children. So what's the first step?
The first step would be to contact Child and Family Services. We can be reached. Our phone number is 989-356-4567. Just let somebody know that you're inquiring about becoming a foster parent or a pre-adoptive parent, and we'll get you set up with the licensing department, and those workers will come out and they'll begin the process with you. And even if you're unsure, you can ask them a lot of information. You come to some orientations, get some of the basics, and then make a decision if you want to continue or not.
Okay, once again, tell me about National Adoption Day here in Alpena.
So on Tuesday, November 25th, it'll be National Adoption Day for Alpena. We are still working on where the location will be, but you can stay tuned to the Child and Family Services Facebook page. We will keep you updated on that, or you can give us a call anytime at our office, and we'll be more than willing to give you guys the information.
Okay, thank you both very much for being here, and I'm so excited and can't wait to see the families be united in their forever homes.
Thank you so much, Nancy.
Thank you. I'll be right back with some information from Thunder Bay Theater following these messages. Hi, welcome back. My last two guests are both from Thunder Bay Theater. I have Emily Sinkowski and Christina Lewis. Hi and welcome.
Hi.
Hello. So glad to have you. And today we're going to talk about Nunsense Jamboree. So tell me about Nunsense Jamboree.
Well, it is the story of Sister Amnesia, who is in the original Nunsense. She has amnesia. She can't remember who she is, so she joins the convent. And then at the end of the story, she remembers who she is, and then she remembers that she has this dream to be a country singer. So then Reverend Mother helps her put together this whole show, and she brings some of the nuns along with her, and a priest comes along with them, and they put on this huge country concert. And this is what Nunsense Jamboree is.
Okay, and what role do you play?
I'm playing Sister Mary Amnesia.
Oh, yay!
Yes.
So what about the songs you'll sing? Any we'll recognize?
There aren't any songs. You might recognize a few of them, but the tunes are similar to a lot of old country songs. It has a lot of jokes and references to old country music and pop country culture. So.
Okay. And what role are you playing, Christina?
I'm playing Sister Robert Ann.
Okay.
She's kind of the jokester from Brooklyn, so it'll always be fun.
Okay. And now, do you have singing parts too?
Yes, yes. Nothing that you'll recognize probably, but they're pretty fun.
So, Nunsense Jamboree, was it a Broadway play and off-Broadway?
Off-Broadway, yes.
Okay.
Yes, it was off-Broadway, and it's been done. They have several, actually, Nunsense musicals that are all based off the original Nunsense, and they're all done all over the country and around the world. So.
Oh, yay, how exciting. So when can we come to Thunder Bay Theater and see it?
The dates for the show are October 30th through November 16th, Thursday through Saturday at 7:30, and Sunday at 2 o'clock.
Very good.
Yeah.
All right, so tell me, Emily, what is your favorite type of role?
Oh, my favorite type of role. I love to play the quirky, spunky best friend. That's
Okay.
the funny, upbeat one.
Like a typecasting kind of thing for you.
Definitely.
And then you came from Texas. Tell me
I
how you
did.
got. Tell me your acting career to date and how you got here.
All right. Well, I started doing theater when I was in middle school and then in high school as well. And then I went to college at New York University. I have a degree in vocal performance with an emphasis in music theater. And then I saw a posting for Thunder Bay Theater on one of the breakdown websites that they have for actors. And Jeff, who is the artistic director at Thunder Bay, he had posted something for the summer season. They were doing Footloose and High School Musical. So I submitted. He sent me an email, asked for a video submission and also for a Skype interview. And then I've been here since June.
Yay! And how about you, Christina?
Well, I did obviously the same as Emily, musicals throughout middle school and high school, and then I went to Rockford University, which is a really small university in Rockford, Illinois. I've been kind of, all over the place. I've lived in like Ohio, New Jersey, Minnesota, so I've been kind of everywhere. And
Wow.
then I actually worked with Jeff last summer as I worked as a lighting intern while he was an actor, and we actually got to perform on stage together in Treasure Island. So he knew me from that and had contacted me and asked me to send in a video submission, so I did. And then he was like, let's have a Skype interview. So that's how I'm here.
Yay! So who are some of the other characters in Nonsense Jamboree?
Well, there are 3 other characters. There is Sister Leo, and her brother in real life in the show is Father Virgil, and those are Father Virgil is the tag-along guy. He came with our convent on the tour, and Sister Leo is the dancing, multi-talented, singing novice who's becoming a nun soon. And then the last character is Sister, who am I forgetting?
Mary Leo.
Oh, Sister Mary Wilhelm, and she is the coordinator of the tour because our Reverend Mother couldn't come, so she is here in place of Reverend Mother, and she's also a nurse, so she keeps us all healthy.
And who's playing those roles? Is it from the core company or?
Yes, all core company members. Travis Welch is playing Father Virgil. Sister Mary Wilhelm is Bridget Anderson, and Sister Leo is Brenna Murphy.
Okay, wonderful. Well, it sounds exciting. So what happens after this production? What's the next one?
The next production is called Jacob Marley's Christmas
Yes,
Carol.
that's
So
right.
it's done in the view of Jacob Marley instead of Scrooge, which is going to be really fun and really exciting. And, we're all really excited for Jacob Marley's Christmas Carol, but we're all really excited for Nonsense, too.
So have you started the Christmas production, blocking it out? And
We will start rehearsals for that the week that Nonsense opens.
wow, that's what always amazes me, how you can do one while practicing another and don't get the roles mixed up because you're professionals. That's how you can do it. Okay, so, and also we always like to let everyone know that when you come to Thunder Bay Theater, call ahead of time, book
Absolutely.
dinner, get your tickets in advance, make sure, because a musical, Alpena loves a musical. Don't take a chance of not getting a seat. Make it a weekend and support professional theater in your community.
Yes.
And lots of fundraising opportunities and lots of volunteer opportunities too.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Okay, once again, when can we come to see Nonsense Jamboree? I'm going to test you again.
I know, right? It's October 30th through November 16th, Thursday through Saturday at 7:30, and Sundays at 2 o'clock.
Okay, I want to thank both of you very much for being here, and I hope you enjoy your time in Alpena, and we look forward to hearing bigger and better things.
Yes,
Thank
thank
you.
you so
Thank
much.
you. Please stay tuned for Dr. Olin Joynton following these messages.
Good morning. I am Jay Walterite, Director of Public Information and Marketing for Alpena Community College, and this is the ACC portion of Talk the Town. With me this morning is Kate Brusky, Director of the ACC Volunteer Center, and we're here today to talk about Christmas.
I know.
Which is hard to believe since it's October and it's beautiful out and the leaves are so colorful, but we're talking about Christmas.
Yes, we are, Jay. I know we have to start very early in the Volunteer Center to do all the advanced planning for this program. And it concludes a little before Christmas, too, because of the organizations with which we work and their calendar. So we start now.
And we're talking about Christmas Wish.
Yes, we
Just
are
to
the
be
Christmas
specific.
wish list. Yes, a decades-old tradition in the area, and we were joking beforehand that just about everybody's at least heard of the Christmas wish list. And we start early, as I started to say, because the organizations are now putting together that list. They have a deadline of the end of this month to submit names, children's names, to the list. And then at that point, we need some time to enter all of those names, and there will be up to 500 of them. So it's a lot. It's a lot of preliminary work. All of those names will be entered into a database and assigned a code number that represents the institution from which the individuals were submitted, and just a number where they enter. And those code numbers and just a first name are used when a donor promises to fulfill the gifts for that child, so that we don't have to release last names, because this is all very confidential. We really protect the people's names and their identity who are on the list.
Now, we were just talking about the partners, and that seems to get bigger each year. Why don't you talk about some of the partners and how this whole system works, because there's a lot of interaction and a lot of coordination.
There's so much behind the scenes. We do work with all the other major organizations in our 4-county area that provide any sort of holiday assistance to families. That's the Salvation Army, big organization, Vietnam Vets, Toys for Kids, and the Marine Corps Toys for Tots, Department of Human Services, and several other organizations too that provide gifts, because we want to make sure that not more than one organization is purchasing gifts for the same individuals. That's not good stewardship of our donors' funds, and it would just be a misuse. So we're really careful about that. That list, by the way, too, is shared only by very select individuals, so that that safeguards the privacy of those individuals.
So where are we now in this process?
We are getting a few names in from the organizations and busily starting to put them in the database, but it'll be a couple of weeks yet before we have everything ready for donors to call in and promise to fulfill the gift requests of a child or a set of siblings or a couple of families, and that's dependent upon the size of the donor organization. If an individual calls in, they'll often agree to purchase one gift or a couple of gifts for a child, or if their whole family calls in, they'll decide they want to do a whole sibling group, or if their whole business calls in and someone is spearheading that for them, they often will do a couple of families.
So what's the criteria to get on the list?
To get on the list, you have to be low income. You have to be needy. You can't just get on the list if you just, let somebody else do the shopping this year. That's not going to work. And that's why we work with the organizations and individuals that are able to prove and document that these are income-worthy candidates for the list. We work primarily with school success workers, because we cover all the schools in Alpena. We also cover adjacent counties, Hillman High School, Hillman Elementary, Posen High School and Elementary, and we are newly in Alcona as well. We also get submissions from some other organizations, but it's primarily worked through the schools, because all of that income level stuff is very well known to those professionals.
So when somebody goes out and fulfills a wish, what is the wish? Can people request things, or are these toys, or what types of things are we talking about here?
We try to, the identity of the Christmas wish list has not been so much about toys. It's a lot more household goods and clothing items. Bedding is a popular request. Jackets, snow pants, boots, other clothing items. Donors may also purchase a basket of food if they wish to provide for a family, if they've adopted a family. But because the Marine Corps Toys for Tots and the Vietnam Vets Toys for Kids and the Salvation Army provide toys, we've decided that that's probably not the identity that we should have. We have our donors really support that. They really like buying the household items and clothing.
Oh, sure, that makes sense. Something useful, keep somebody warm on a
You
cold
bet.
winter's day, that makes a lot of sense.
And kids grow so fast,
Yes.
as we both know,
Yeah, that's right.
that replacing those jackets, snow pants, and boots is every year and sometimes twice a year.
Yeah, that's true. Well, how do people get involved to becoming donors?
They just have to call the Volunteer Center. We will have that list ready to match those kids up with generous donors on Monday, November 10th.
Okay.
And we will do matching all the way through the first week of December. So donors just have to call. Our local number is 358-7271 or 888-468-6222, and we'll repeat that.
Yeah.
And just call the Volunteer Center, and we will arrange your ability to donate with the appropriate gift. If you'd like to purchase one gift, that's fine. That's great. And if you have a group of people behind you to support a heavier bunch of requests, that's great too.
All right. Well, good. That's just about all of our time, Kate.
Okay.
Well, thank you for joining me, and thank you for talking about Christmas Wish List, which is a wonderful program. 37 years in the making?
Yes.
Yes.
And just to repeat that phone number,
Yeah.
358-7271.
All right. Well, great. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And thank you very much. Once again, I am Jay Walterite, Director of Public Information and Marketing for Alpena Community College, and this is Talk of the Town.
This has been Talk of the Town with Nancy Smitham and Dr. Olin Joyton. For a list of events taking place in Northeast Michigan, visit our website at www.wbkb11.com and click on Community. This has been a Thunder Bay Broadcasting Corporation production.